Hello everyone, Grizel here and welcome to my channel. So I actually prepared something else for this week's video, but I have a watercolor palette here that's been calling my name, and so I painted a couple of pieces with it, and I feel like I want to share my first review with you all. So talk about sudden change of plans. So which watercolor palette I'm talking about? It's the Pretty Excellent Watercolor by Meiliang. I first saw these palettes in Amazon when I was searching for affordable watercolor paints to buy, but I didn't get it that time because the shipping fee to the Philippines is almost the same as the cost of the watercolor palette itself. Then I saw this video of the frugal crafter, Lindsay, and she had a lot of good things to say about this palette. So it made me think that I really need to have that. So I searched and searched and searched, and it's just so bad that no one here in the Philippines is selling this. Anyway, I checked and checked and checked online because I really want to have this paint. And then one day, I got so excited when AliExpress had a sale, and I saw that this set was on sale for $18.74 or 974 pesos. And it's free shipping. So the price is just a little lower than Amazon's, but since I'm not going to be paying a single peso on the shipping, which is very good, I ordered it right away. So this is their packaging. This is how the box looks like in the front, and the back shows all the colors included in the set I bought. So I bought this 36 color half pan set, and it shows the colors, the numbers assigned to each color names in English, and I assume that these are also color names but in Chinese, and light fast ratings. It has this piece of paper that contains text in Chinese and their color chart for the 36 and 24 watercolor set, and this paper for the swatches, which I will fill later. Also, there's a water brush that comes with the set, but I don't really enjoy using it. Using a water brush, so it would just stay here. Now let's look at the tin, which what I first like about it. The tin is really cute. Look at this. I like that this tin has an aquamarine color or mint color, unlike the usual black color of metal tins. It's really nice, and I think it's sturdy, and it has a finger ring underneath. Also, I like that it has 4 mixing wells that I can use if ever I don't have my mixing palette with me. But it would have been better if your logo's not on this side of the tin. You already have your logo on the cover, so I don't think it's very essential to put it here. The paints are not in the usual half pans, but they are just in this plastic tray. The tray is not that hard, but I don't think it will break or get damaged easily. So I think you could still reuse this tray if you want to, should the paint runs out. The tray was glued to the inside, but if I remove this and the glue attached to the tin, I could have more space for mixing my paints. These containers are really filled with paint, so if you look at it, so I think I got a good quality of paint for each color. These numbers that you see here, I wrote these numbers because I think it makes it easier for me to locate the color rather than just counting them one by one. Regarding the paints are moist and a bit glossy. Look at that. It doesn't have the feel of some cheap paints that's rough, chalky, and which colors my finger when I touch it. So the colors are really transparent, and I cannot see their actual colors just by looking at it. So I made swatches of these colors on a watercolor paper, and here it is. Ta-da! So this palette has 1 white, 2 yellows, 2 oranges, 6 reds, 4 violets and purples, 8 blues, 6 greens, 6 browns, and 1 black. The 23rd color here is labeled as indigo on the box, but on the literature inside, it's labeled as Payne's Gray. and I really think it's a Payne's gray, so I labeled it as such. And there are some colors that are almost alike too, like this one, yellow orange and cad orange hue, cad red light and vermilion, yellowish brown and raw sienna, and burnt umber and sepia. But it's not really a big deal because I really think there are more pros than cons for this palette. This watercolor palette is really amazing. I really love how bright and pigmented these paints are. More importantly, they are not chalky at all and won't rub off the paper after dry, which is quite common to cheap watercolors. Most of the watercolors here are transparent, except for a very few like the white, the predator blue, yellowish brown. Anyway, as for the light fastness or how resistant they are to fading when exposed to light, the box shows that 19 of these colors have high or good light fastness, while 17 have fair light fastness, and none of these paints are fugitive or have bad light fastness. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but you see, when you're just a beginner, that's not really a major concern. As a beginner, what matters is that you need really good yet affordable paints to practice with, and this palette is a really perfect choice for those who are, who needs a lot of paint because they're practicing. To show how good they are, I just want to quickly show you my swatches of some of the other watercolor brands that I have and like. So these brands are another Eastern brand, Kuretake Gansai Tambi, and two Western brands, Sonnet watercolor paints and Winsor & Newton Cotman. I got my 36 set Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints for 2,360 pesos. Compared to this, Pretty Excellent is way cheaper but has lesser paint quantity since Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints come in big pans like this. I got this 24 color Sonnet watercolor set for 808 pesos. The Pretty Excellent watercolor is 166 pesos more expensive, but you get 12 more colors. And lastly, the Winsor & Newton Cotman paints. I bought my 12 set Winsor & Newton Cotman for 1,150 pesos. Cotman is a very good brand and obviously this will be more expensive. But if you're practicing, you need all the paints that you can use, and Pretty Excellent has far more paints for a lesser cost. So as you can see, the Pretty Excellent paints are just as vibrant as these other brands. And I just want to show you that I think this brand is quite competitive when it comes to the price and the quality of the paints. I also want to show you some of the paintings that I've done using these Pretty Excellent paints. So, what do you think? I really enjoyed using these paints. They activate easily and wetting them after they get dry is just as easy. They're rich and creamy and there's just no chalkiness to it. The colors are so vibrant, and I like how I don't need to add too much paint just to make the colors pop. They mix really well and flow nicely on the paper. So these paintings that I'm showing you right now, I'm using these paints on B paper, the 200 GSM cold press B paper. Anyway, I'm no professional, but I have different brands of paints. I have used them, and this is definitely one of my new favorites. Okay, so now let me do the swatches on this card. with my purchase for something which is less than 1,000 pesos or $20, I'm confident that this is such a good buy. I mean, I would love to buy this again for myself should I finish up all of these paints. If you're a beginner and you're looking for good watercolor paints to learn and practice with, this is a brand that I'm definitely recommending. I'm really hoping that there would be sellers here in the Philippines who would bring this to the country, just because I want Filipino watercolor beginners to experience another affordable yet pretty excellent watercolor brand to paint with. I will put the link of the AliExpress seller from which I got my Pretty Excellent paints in the video description below. Also, I will put the links to the Shopee sellers of the other watercolor brands that I mentioned in this video. I really hope you liked today's video. If you do, come on, hit the like button. Also, let me know in the comment section if you want me to review another brand of watercolor paints or any other watercolor supplies. And of course, if I can afford it, I shall do that for you in one of my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified every time I upload videos. Let's spread the love for watercolor painting, and I will see you again next week. So stay positive and happy painting!